Welcome to the Brewery Adventure, where we explore the vibrant world of local breweries and the incredible atmosphere they create. I'm Tim.
And I'm Courtney. If you've ever wondered what makes a brewery more than just a place to grab a drink, you're in for a treat.
In each episode, we'll cover the places making beer, from the cozy corners of neighborhood tap rooms to the bustling energy of larger brew houses.
We're not just talking about the beer. We're celebrating the ambiance, the culture, and the community that make each brewery a unique destination.
So whether you're a regular at your local brew pub or just curious about what's out there, join us as we uncover the magic behind the taps.
Let's embark on the brewery adventure together.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers! Welcome to the Brewery Adventure. Courtney, how are you?
I'm great. We're off to a good start here.
We are. I feel the energy. The energy level is good. In our pre-show talk, Courtney was almost opening her beer prematurely.
At least three times.
At least 3 times. So we're going to get right to that right away. We are doing this episode on OMNI Brewing Company. And this one is unique because they have 2 locations in the Twin Cities.
2?
Yeah. One in the North Metro in Maple Grove, one in the South Metro in Rosemount. And we have visited both, and we're ready to talk about them. But first, we need to open our beers. And it just so happens that Courtney and I have both picked the same beer, I believe.
It wasn't entirely intentional. I realized a little bit too late. I grabbed 2 crowlers when we were there.
Yeah.
One is the beer that we're going to be drinking tonight, and the other, I just grabbed one because it had the name Dreamsicle on it. And I thought, well, that's all whimsical and sounds like a lot of fun.
It does.
But it's a seltzer, which I'm fine with. I like seltzers, but I really just wanted a beer tonight and not a seltzer. So.
Very good, very good. Well, go ahead and pop open your beer. Which is it?
This is the Snow Rye Moval.
The Snow Rye Moval. You can tell by the name that it probably has rye in it.
I got it.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Yep, here goes mine. Oh, yeah. I have the same beer, the Snow Rye Moval. Ooh, that's a nice dark golden color. I like that. Look at
I'm
that.
still pouring. This is two episodes in a row that I have remembered to bring a glass.
Well, you are recording from your home, so you have glasses available, I'm sure.
They're way over there.
Yeah, way over there. This smells delicious.
Well, here comes the adventure part, because the last time we were at OMNI, we were maybe at both locations within the last week.
We were.
You had a Snow Rye Moval in a flight.
I did. I had a flight when we were at the Rosemount location. I had a flight when we were there. We went down there with my wife, Krista, and we had a really nice time sitting down there and enjoying beer and pizza, and it was wonderful. But I had one called it was called the Imperial Snow Rye Moval. And that one is 12.1% alcohol. This one is 6. Really good, though.
Yeah.
It was delicious. I gave it a really good rating on Untapped, of course. But I'm going to try this one. What are we waiting for?
I don't know. Oh, that's really good too.
Yeah, that's good. And I needed something to drink right now.
This is what I wanted.
My throat was itchy and I needed something. Oh, that's delicious.
That's really good.
I think it tastes, it doesn't taste like the Imperial one, because the Imperial one is Snow Rye Moval, but that one is aged in rye barrels.
It had a
rye
really
whiskey
nice
barrel.
Barrel-aged flavor. It wasn't overpowering. It was...
Yep, aged in whiskey barrels, and that was delicious. I like it. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes when they do that, they can become overpowering with the alcohol bite.
Yeah.
And then it kind of loses a little bit of the attention to the flavor. But that one, they really hit it very, very well. But this one is also delicious and only 6% alcohol. So good for us.
Very good for us.
Wonderful. Well, Courtney, what do you think of this 2-location brewery thing overall?
I think it's really cool. I had only been to the Rosemount location. I think I've been there 3, maybe 4 times, probably 3 times.
Yeah.
But I hadn't been up to Maple Grove until we went just the other day.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, the Maple Grove location was open first. I don't remember what we have that in our notes somewhere. What year that was?
OMNI Brewing was founded in
There
2015.
you go, 2015, and that is the brewery in Maple Grove. Now, if you go down to Rosemount, it's a winery. So if you're in Rosemount, it's pretty cool. You can get a flight of beers or a flight of wine, or a little of both. I think they'll even do. So it's got a wider range of drinks for different people who maybe aren't beer drinkers. They can try some wine down there. If you're in the northern location, the one in Maple Grove, they're not allowed to serve the wine there, and I think that has something to do with the brewery laws still. That the breweries, if you're running a brewery, you're not allowed to serve other types of alcohol there. Like wine. So I think that's what's holding them back, and maybe they'll get that changed at some point, but you never know.
I bet they're working to get that changed.
They're probably working on it. I hope they are, because it is cool when you're down in Rosemount for people to be able to get both. And, not everybody likes the beer, believe it or not.
And it sounds like that was a very intentional move by them. They wanted to have other offerings other than beer for people who do not really care for beer. That's not their jam.
Right. Yep. No, it's very good. It's very cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about the beers that we've had there. We'll get that out of the way. So, has anything stood out to you as the ones that you've tried at OMNI?
One of these last times, I'm gonna lump them both together.
Sure.
They had a porter that was a vanilla down by the porter. That was really super good. I enjoyed that one. They also have a beer called the Hearthfire that has a little bit of spice in it.
Oh yeah, I like
it's
it. When
really
they have that.
really good.
Yeah, it's usually a good flavor for beer. I like those kind of spiced beers, even the winter spiced beers, that kind of thing.
It's called a winter warmer.
Yeah, right, and it's a wonderful taste. And it does feel like it's warming you up. I recently at our last stop. Now our last stop at OMNI this past weekend, we were at a Munzie event. That's one of those geolocation games that Courtney and I both play. That's why on our website we have our real names and then a weird name underneath. Mine is Minnesota Boy, and hers is Mecca MN. And we use those names for both geocaching and the game of Munzie. That's munzee.com, MUNZEE.com if you're interested in looking it up. It's a fun game to play. But anyway, we were at an event for Munzie on Saturday.
It was a very cold event.
Yeah, it ended up like we've had some days recently where it's 70 degrees out and we're outside in our t-shirts. In fact, when we were at OMNI down in Rosemount, I wore a short sleeve shirt and I was perfectly comfortable. That day, on that Saturday, the weather was. It started the day at like midnight. It was 53 degrees and it just dropped all day long, and then it started raining and snowing and got really windy. And then we had those ice pellets that were blowing in our faces for a while.
Yeah, it was miserable.
It was all very miserable. Courtney and I ran through the Munzie event as quickly as possible. I think we set a new Munzie world record for how fast you can complete a circuit of Munzie pins, we call them, scanning them with our phones. And we hurried to get through it.
We did.
But we had a plan. We also had a plan that after that Munzie event, we were going to go to the OMNI location in Maple Grove because it wasn't that far away from where we were. And so we made our way over there. But a friend of ours got there a little before us.
Yes, he did.
He wanted to meet us over there, and he got there before we did and called Courtney as we were just getting there. Called Courtney. And what did Barry have to say about the situation?
He called it a St. Patrick's Day shit show.
St. Patrick's Day shit show. And he was not wrong.
He was not wrong.
He was not wrong. Now, not their fault. They were obviously having a very successful event. No doubt about it. It was packed. We parked probably 2 blocks away. And to walk back to the brewery in that cold wind that was still going on. And they had a tent outside with a Irish band playing when we walked up, and a bunch of people in there. And we stepped in there in the door, and barely in the door, we were in line to get a beer.
Yes.
It was a long line. Though I say they handled it pretty well. We got through that line, I think, in about 15 minutes, which I thought it was going to take longer. And we picked up our beers. Which beers did you have that day?
I had a Hearthfire, and I had the Irish Dry Stout Nitro.
Oh, yes. I had that one too. I had the Irish Stout. It was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right in my wheelhouse, the stout. That style of beer is right in my wheelhouse. I really love that style. And I really enjoyed that one. And then along with that one, I got the beer of the day, of course, the greenest beer on tap. That's
you
what
were
they
very
called
festive.
it. The greenest beer on tap. It was their light lager colored green, and fit in with the day. But that's why it was so busy there. Of course, St. Patrick's Day weekend, crazy busy. We barely got a seat at a table. We kind of squeezed into a corner at a table that looked like maybe there were 3 chairs that weren't being used, and thankfully we could get them. But we were also right by a door that went out to where the people could pick up their pizzas outside. And so that door kept getting opened, and it was windy and cold every time. So we didn't probably have the best experience at OMNI in Maple Grove. I have been to the OMNI location probably 3 or 4 other times and had wonderful experiences there. I've been to a geocaching event there. I've gone there with a couple of friends, and it's always been really nice. So, a packed St. Patrick's Day weekend is probably not your time to evaluate it. But we still had our beers, and
we still had our beers.
We sat and chatted with our friend Barry for a while, and we had as good a time as we could have in that environment, I think.
I didn't look around the room very much because all I could
Your
see
back
was
was to
a
the
mob
room.
of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. That line never got shorter. In fact, sometimes it went out the door and down the sidewalk. So it was crazy busy, but again, we had that Irish Stout, which is wonderful, and the green beer was fine. It was just a light lager, so not expecting much from it, but it was fine.
And we were very smart and ordered both beers. Like each of us had 2 beers.
We did
up
because
front.
we had the online thing to get a BOGO, right?
Oh, we did it. We had a coupon. We used our Hops passport, but we ordered our 2 beers to start with, so we didn't have to wait in line.
No waiting in line, and we bought the Crowlers, the beers that we're drinking tonight, at the same time as well.
Yeah,
so we didn't have to go back in line.
We're only doing it once.
Yep. So we've had some really good times down in Rosemount, and this time up at St. Patrick's Day weekend, a little less of a good time for us, just because it's not the kind of thing we're hoping for out of brewery. As if you've listened to our podcast, we like cozy little breweries and hanging out and talking to your friends and whatnot. And this one was so packed and so frenetic that it was tough.
It was tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
Friday,
but we did it.
The night before at the Rosemount location was better. However, there was one major disappointment.
What is the major disappointment?
The other times that we've been to the OMNI in Rosemount, when you order a pizza, they had an external pizza trailer where they would make the pizzas because, again, the brewery laws here, there's weird issues with serving food.
Yes,
so they have an external trailer that would have these pizzas that was attached to the building with a window. But the trailer was set up a little bit high. So from the window, they had a slide that they would put the pizza on. And
I remember that.
Slide down to the bar.
I remember that. That was very cool. Like it had logos like on the bar, like this is the pizza slide area.
The pizza landing.
Yeah. The pizza landing.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. And what happened now? They got rid of it, right?
They got rid of it. I was so excited. We ordered our pizzas and we were kind of like wondering, are they ready yet? And I said, I'm going to go back and check because I'm really excited to go watch the pizza slide.
Right.
But I got back there and the pizza slide was gone.
Gone. Pizza trailer, still there. Different one. I think a different one maybe. The level is like, because now the window is just like level.
It's just a normal window.
No need for a slide.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, that is disappointing. That was a fun little thing that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they had issues with it. Maybe it had some other problems. Maybe sometimes pizzas went too fast.
That could be.
And got off the landing area. I don't know. The one time we did see it work, like the last time we were there, it was very cool to watch a pizza come sliding in and just stop right on the bar.
I was really excited to just sit and watch the pizza slide.
Yes, well, besides not having the slide and that being disappointing, the pizzas themselves were once again wonderful.
So good.
Yes, they do a really good job with the pizzas down there. We shared one that this one was had pickles on it.
Yeah.
Pickles.
Krista wanted no part of that pizza.
No, she did not. My wife wanted nothing to do with the pickle and ranch dressing pizza, I think it was.
And there was sausage on it.
Yeah, and some sausage. Yeah, that's true. But she had another one that was just plain sausage, which also was delicious as usual. So kudos to them for making some great pizzas, but no kudos for not sliding them into the building anymore.
Taking away my pizza slide.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah, so we've had a really good time at OMNI. We would both suggest visiting these locations, of course. The Rosemont one is quite a ways south out of the metro. I mean, it's almost, to me, it seems like you're going way out of the metro when you go way down to the one that's in Rosemount. But I know people live on the south side, and to them it probably is a lot closer, obviously.
People do live on the south side.
Yeah, they do. People do live south of the river. What are the other things that we need to talk about OMNI?
Their name.
Yeah. What is it about their name? What does the OMNI name mean?
They named themselves OMNI because OMNI is all or of every kind. And they just had a vision for what they wanted their brewery to be. And they wanted it to be very inclusive, where everyone's welcome, everyone's invited. It's all kinds of beer for all kinds of people. And OMNI, they felt, just kind of captured that.
Well, I think it does. And it looks like, we talked a little bit earlier, the one in Maple Grove started in 2015, right? That's what I'm reading. And then the location in Rosemount came along later.
December of 2022.
2022, so not very long ago.
Not very long ago.
Yeah.
There was also a note that and I don't know how long ago this was and if things have changed. I assume things have changed at this point. But they were listed as maybe the only brewery in Minnesota that would run on solar power. Yeah,
I think they do. One of their distinctives is they have a lot of solar panels on the roof, I think.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Always good to be saving that energy, right?
Yeah.
Get that clean energy going. I thought it was interesting that they were originally started. They did a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
436 people participated. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they set a really successful Kickstarter and very cool. I would say for OMNI that of the two locations, I do like the Rosemount location better. Just for it's more in the countryside. They have a lot of open space outside.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tables outside and kids running around everywhere outside and sometimes inside. Which Courtney and I both noticed that. Well, you say what you noticed about OMNI.
OMNI is very kid friendly, maybe to a fault.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the distinctives of breweries that we've talked about, as opposed to going to a bar to have a beer, for instance, that it's more kid-friendly, more family-friendly. You tend to see people with young kids hanging out in a brewery.
Yes.
Whereas maybe not so much in a bar.
And we see kids and families hanging out at all of the breweries we go to.
And it's true of all of them. Yeah.
But I feel like at OMNI in particular, it is very much parents sitting at a table while their kids run around the building, run around outside.
Yeah, especially outside. It looks crazy out there. Kids just running around. Now, they do have a little bit of a lawn area for that purpose, I think. That's fine. But yeah, it is a little more frenetic with the kids running around in there.
Yeah.
I was looking on their website because when we've been down in Rosemount, there's also been a lot of dogs there, both inside and out, and they are welcome to be there. But in the Maple Grove location, when I was reading the website, it says they don't allow dogs in the Maple Grove location inside. Outside, they're perfectly welcome. but not inside the brewery. And that probably, again, has something to do with either the laws, the brewery laws opposed to the winery laws, or the location being in Maple Grove rather than Rosemount. Maybe Maple Grove has some stricter rules concerning dogs. I don't know.
That could be.
I don't know what the reason is, but that's a little bit of difference between the two locations.
I met some very nice dogs at the Rosemount location.
Yes, wonderful dogs down there. Yeah. I'm going to drink some more beer. What are you thinking of this snow removal?
I really, really like it. And it's, again, if I would have had the seltzer, it would have been fine. And I bet it's delicious. But I was really craving a beer.
It's a really nice dark amber color. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one more thing I need to talk about is a bathroom review. Everybody looks forward to a bathroom review about these breweries. The bathrooms down in the Rosemount location of OMNI, probably some of the best bathrooms. Super clean, super nice. The one I used was the one that had the baby changing table in it, so they have that option. But they have individual little rooms with the toilets in them.
Yep.
Some of those, two of those rooms also have urinals in them as well. And you can kind of tell which one is which because the doors are closer together. The smaller ones, the doors are closer together. And the middle two ones were kind of farther apart. So
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, the rooms are a little bit bigger. So you could maybe use those middle ones as more of a family restroom too, where there's a little more room in there. You could bring your kids in there. But the hand washing part of it is outside in the hallway, outside of those little rooms. And that's something that I really think is a great bathroom design for any public place. For a couple of reasons. One, because it doesn't matter who's using the bathroom. There's no gender problems at all.
Nope.
Nothing. Anybody can use any bathroom. And it's just the most efficient in that sense because anybody can use any bathroom. A lot of times in places where there's men's and women's rooms, women are standing outside waiting when the men are just going in and out really fast. Part of that probably because they're not washing their hands. I don't know. Actually, I do know. But I love this washroom outside the bathroom part of it. And the more public nature of the hand washing area, because I think it puts public pressure on people to wash their hands.
Yes.
Which I am super into. I love that. So that's one reason I think it's very efficient and it puts public pressure on people to wash their hands. I think it's just a great design. There's Prize Brewing on the riverfront in Minneapolis also has bathrooms designed that way. And I'm sure there are probably others we haven't seen yet, but we'll get to them eventually.
I really like that.
Yeah.
However, if we had been sitting closer to that bathroom area, I feel like I would have been watching the sink.
See who washes their hands and who doesn't. Yeah. That might be maybe next time we'll go off to sit on that end and bring a tally sheet.
We'll take some stats.
You mentioned to me you thought it was funny though that to get out of that little room where you do your business, you do have to touch the door handle.
You have to touch the door.
Yeah, and you just said how gross is that door handle?
Oh, it's probably terrible.
Then you get to wash your hands after that though. So it's maybe only a second or two. You'll be fine.
You think I'll be fine.
Just don't put your hands to your face in between that door and the washing station. You'll be okay.
It's like 2 steps away. It's not. It's
fine.
doable.
It's fine. It's doable. Okay, so the Maple Grove location bathrooms. I peeked into them. I didn't use it while I was there. I think I used it the last time I was there a couple years ago. Smaller bathrooms, men's and women's style. Not big.
Which was a little bit of a problem when we were there for.
Yeah, I think on a normal day they're probably fine.
Yes.
But on that day with St. Patrick's Day celebrations going on, really undersized bathrooms.
There were a lot of bodies in the women's
for the amount of
bathroom.
people that were there.
Yes.
But nonetheless, fine. They were fine, I think. But anyway, what did you think of it? You went into the women's room. What was it like?
There were too many people.
Yes.
I had to wait.
Yep.
And I was just trying not to push people out of my way.
That's okay. That's okay. So yeah, A plus plus for the bathrooms down in Rosemount, and we'll give them a passing B, which I guess I was doing 1 through 10 scales
You were.
before, so I guess we have to give them a 10 for the winery bathrooms, and let's give them a 7.5 for the.
I'm gonna give the Maple Grove one wait until next time when there's not an event going on, and I can actually.
All right, a tentative 7.5.
Yes.
And we will wait to reevaluate.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could improve.
Good.
Hopefully
Sounds
it doesn't
good.
get worse.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. So we are going to be moving on, I think, from this show here pretty quickly because I think we've covered Omni pretty well.
I think we did.
It's a unique brewery in the Twin Cities because it does have 2 locations. Also, they have the wine available down in Rosemount. The 2 locations are a little bit different from each other. The beers, I think, being available at both are pretty much the same, as I remember. But you might want to check the tap lists on their websites before you visit to see which one you might want to take off to.
I'm feeling like that Hearthfire was perhaps a seasonal beer with it
Sure.
being a winter warmer.
Sure. Yeah.
And I should be stocking up on some crowlers.
Yeah. Yeah. There are times of the year when I'm like, okay, I got to, like when Oktoberfest beers start coming out, I'm
Yeah.
like, I will go to Total Wine and buy like a cartload of Oktoberfest beers because both my wife Krista and I love that style of beer, and so we'll go through it. And sometimes they sell out really fast, and you miss them.
Yeah.
So you got to get them while you can. And yeah, it's kind of like that with winter beers too. I like the darker beer styles generally, and sometimes when you get to the middle of the summer, there isn't any available.
They think people don't want that in the summer.
Yeah, it's all
but
light
they're wrong.
beers at that point. That's wrong. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. I want them all year.
Yep.
So, Courtney, I think we've covered Omni pretty well. We have done it a good service, I think. We like it. We would encourage you to visit it.
Absolutely.
Yep. And give Omni Brewing a try in Maple Grove or in Rosemount. Next time on the Brewery Adventure, in our next episode, we have actually decided what brewery we're going to do next.
I know everybody's shocked right now.
And we were there just the other day because we were doing some geocaching around this brewery, and we then stumbled in there. It was busy too when we were there, but it was handling that crowd very, very well. And what brewery was that?
Why are you going to make me say it?
Ah.
Well, we're going to guess on the pronunciation because we were going to quiz people there to ask them how you properly say this.
We were.
Utepils or Utepils?
There you go. I think it's Utepils. I'm going with Utepils. That's how I've heard it said, and that's what I'm going to say until we find out otherwise.
But they have a little coaster, and it looks like it's Utepils.
This is true. This is true. This is why we need to ask them, I guess. So when we make our next visit, we will find out for sure. So when we do the recording, we don't sound too crazy.
We just continuously mispronounce their name.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But anyway, Utepils is next on the schedule. They are located off of Glenwood Avenue in Minneapolis. Give it a visit if you're going by there. It is a very cool brewery. They're right on the creek, and it's kind of a cool spot to stop in.
And we'll have to go back and do more research.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
darn.
if you're a geocacher, there's a geocache on their patio, which we did not find because we waited until it was very dark and we could not find it.
We were not
But
smart.
we'll find it next time we're there. Anyway, thanks for coming along on this episode of the Brewery Adventure. Courtney, how can people contact us if they would like to?
Well, they could email us, tim@thebreweryadventure.com or Courtney@thebreweryadventure.com.
Yes.
You could visit our website at thebreweryadventure.com where there is a contact form and you can message us there. Or you can hop onto Instagram. We are The Brewery Adventure, or YouTube, The Brewery Adventure.
Wow, we've got it all covered.
Everything.
Yeah, I do like to put out a little bit of a YouTube video about every brewery that we visit. So if you, after listening to the episode, say, hey, I might want to visit there, but you want to get a look at what it looks like, I usually give a quick walkthrough video. They're usually 1 minute to 3 minutes long. And you can find those on that YouTube channel, The Brewery Adventure on YouTube. And if you want to get a little bit of a look.
A little peek.
Yeah, a little peek. Anyway, we will catch you next time on the Brewery Adventure when we'll be talking about Utepils Brewing in Minneapolis. We'll see you then. Until then,
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.